Hey, peace and blessings, everybody. This your man's Gerald Hassan D. Childress, Enlightening Minds Enterprise, aka Mr. Shift Your Perspective. Say, I'm about to get ready to go to work, but before I leave out the door, I wanted to. I had a thought I was thinking about, just kind of contemplating on while I was just, going through my morning rituals, and it was just something I just wanted to share with everyone, to my guys and my girls. In relationships, I truly believe that when two people meet each other, it should be a meeting of mutual interest. It should be the whole process should be one of simultaneously and mutually trying to get to know one another, a desire to get to know one another, And I'm saying on the level to where all of it comes very natural. It's not one of those things to where, if you're able to be, too busy for this new so-called interest, then my perspective is that that's not the one for you. That's not the person that's bringing that real interest out of you. Go ahead and push forward. Don't waste the brother or the woman's time, and just push forward. Because if you can recollect or reflect on a time when you've met someone, no matter how busy you were, and no matter how new that encounter had been, you still had in you a desire to talk to that person, to get to know that person, to want to see that person or something, to sit in front of that person, ask some questions and so on and so forth. And so I believe that is the kind of like the fundamental or the kind of like the foundation or the beginning of how it happens. And when it's like that, I believe, okay, we starting out on the right foot. We both invest into this whole process mutually and on the same page. I believe to be any other place in that beginning stage and so on would be a disservice to the other person as well as to oneself. And I do believe that what we put out into the universe, again, with other people and so on, is what we get back. So a lot of times when we find ourselves interested in someone and pursuing them, but it seems they're lacking, I believe it's because of what we've also done to people. But I do believe also that as long as we can be true to ourselves and care about other people's time and energy and resources enough to not want to waste anyone's time, to not want to hurt anyone, it reaches a point to where I believe we will align ourselves up to meet that one that really does it for us like that. And true enough, this is all a learning process, a learning thing, because like I said, when I talk to you, it's something that come out of my own learning experience. I'm talking to myself as well, because with every experience that I go through, for me, I'm very self-reflecting, reflective, and I'm very analytical, because I want to understand, where I may have went wrong, what could I have done differently, what could I have done better, because again, I truly, it means something to me for a person to leave my space or an experience with me, feeling ill about the whole experience, feel like they lost, or feel like it didn't add to their life or to their happiness or whatever, right? And so it doesn't mean I'm perfect, but again, and I try to be, I try to get it right. I try to give people what I want. I try to make the choices that I want to be able to make a choice that I can stand behind. So this is why I think the way I think, and I look at things like that. So anytime when we do find ourselves though in a relationship and we're still open to meet other people, we still either we're open to entertain on a mental level, an emotional level, and on a physical level. At any given time that we know that we're in a place like that, we're with someone, even if we're not even really totally committed, but we're intimate with that person, we're so-called dating and trying to see what this is going to be about. But we can see, and we sometimes we'll know that person is really invested. They really like you. They really, she really likes me, or he really likes, me, or whatever. I'm saying, like, for a woman, right? And so we'll know that, but we also have already made a determination that it's something about this that just isn't totally doing it for me. Now, people say, "Oh, you're looking for something perfect." I don't look for anything perfect, but I do look for something that I can give my all to, because I can myself reflect on times that I've met someone that I felt like I wanted to give everything I got to, and I started out maybe trying to do that, and things happen to where there's a shift and there's an acceptance and there's an adjustment, and it was lost. I believe that once a person, male particularly towards a female, lose adoration for her, the whole thing is gone. I believe that once a woman loses respect for him, the whole thing is gone. And so when I think about that, though, I think that, and it's hard for us to hurt people. We don't want to hurt people. And sometimes there are things about people or the people that we meet or our companions that we truly value. And sometimes we just don't want to lose that. And that's the selfish part of ourselves. But on the other side, we always say that I know what I deserve. I know what I want. But we have to also be willing to give people what we ourselves would want that person to give us if we was in the other person's shoe. And that takes a lot of character to do. It takes a lot of character to be able to enjoy being with someone, to know someone can really be a good mate. But to be honest and say that the person still just do not do it for me for whatever reason, I don't know. Either I lack some level of trust in this individual, I lack some trust in maybe. I dated a woman one time where I didn't think that she would cheat, but I still didn't have trust in her decision making. And when I say trust her decision making, I mean outside of my presence, in how she reflects me or us. Because if whether someone knows that me and her together or not, I like to have the confidence that this beautiful woman that I adore is able to represent me in a way that when I come around, I know guys, that whatever guy here that done tried to get at her, know that she held her ground respectively, and he respect how she held her ground, and he also, with that respect, he also has a respect for me because of how she held her ground. And true enough, now the guys have to be able to do the same thing for the ladies that he's interested in, because I feel like that's almost one of the worst things a person can do to someone, is to make someone look foolish, for loving you. So I believe that for him and her, again, when we are able to come to the terms that I know that this is not the one for me. I know that no matter how good this person is or whatever, there are some areas I can't just gravitate to. It's something that just doesn't make me give my all to this. And so when I can reflect that, I have met people like that. So that's when we have to be honest. I've met people like that. That's when we said ourselves. I can think of guys I've met, or I can think of women that I've met whom I felt that way about and whom I tried to give my all to. But with this person, I just don't feel that way. And see, this is what I like to relate to, kind of like when people talk about Kobe and Jordan. These are two great people in their own right, and they cannot be compared. But one of the things I say particularly that I think would make Jordan great, to me, my perspective, is that Jordan, to me, reached a point in his career that when he touched the floor, he was able to infect his teams in a way. It made them all play their best game. It made everybody look good. It made people value go up, because it's whatever it was, it made them, the energy, the vibe, the chemistry of him and the way that team functioned made everybody play their best game. And I believe that's what relationships are about, is when you meet someone that makes you play your best game. that makes you want to be the best you can be. That makes that you want to give that person the best of what you got. Therefore, it's going to take a hell of a person to come in and catch that person's attention. Not to say that it's about that. I'm just saying for me, I want my wife. When I'm married, I want my wife. I want to give her such a great man. To where her friends or my friends or other women have a positive type of envy for what she has. And that's what I want. I want them to have a positive type of envy for what she has in her husband. That's what I want to be. Because a lot of times women can look at a man and see how his eyes shift and all that, and a woman can determine that, his eyes wonder, I can get him. I can get him. She really ain't got nothing over there because he everywhere. Even though he may have not acted out or anything, man, that takes away the quality of that whole relationship. When a person shows that type of, or that lack of substance, that lack of quality. When I'm with somebody and I really try to give them all my energy and my attention. I try to really control. I'm very observant by nature, but I try to limit that because I don't want her to feel I'm watching the women in the place. I don't want other women to feel that my eyes is on them, on watching other women. So in a way, my main point, and I'm finna let y'all go because I'm finna go, there's like 12 minutes into the conversation, and some of y'all say I can be a bit redundant and long-winded. I understand that. But I want you to understand that I believe it's a disservice to ourselves personally, because again, what we put out, we get back from the universe. So it's a disservice for ourselves first and foremost. And then it's a disservice to the other person, because we perpetuate a cycle of disservices when we commit disservices to other people, me included. Is that if we can start something out on the right foot, then we ain't got to worry about hurting no one's feeling down the line. But when we find ourselves in a situation where the person just don't do it for us, and we still looking for we still looking for that one, even though we still intimate or whatever, messing with this person, it's one or two things we need to do. Sit down with that person and really break it down and explain to them this is what it is. Or leave the person alone. Whatever the case, we got to give that person the option to either stay or leave, because this is what it is. Doing that, it sets things in balance. And a lot of guys particularly don't like to do that because we don't like to think of this beautiful, attractive, good woman open herself up to other men now with that truth that I just gave her. Yeah, she may still be with me, but sometimes she may be unavailable because now she's out on a date. The next thing you know, she hit you with the phone call. We got to stop seeing each other because me and this guy finna get serious. Now he feel like, damn, I know she was a good girl. I know she was a good woman. But for some reason, man, she just didn't pull the best out of me. I ain't going to say the best out of me. She just didn't make me want me to give my all. Something about our chemistry didn't make me want to give my all to her. And that's what it's more about. Not so much like her or him. It's about our chemistry didn't bring out the best in me for her. And so, with that being said, and it goes vice versa. I don't know if women are like that. But anyway, with that being said, man, let me get on up out of here. Peace and blessings to everybody. Like always, I say, if things don't sound right, seem right, feel right, try shifting your perspective, because there's always another way of looking at it. Mr. Shift Your Perspective, Jerry Hassan, the Children's Enlightening Minds Empire. Peace and blessings, everybody.